You're listening to the Medic Materials Podcast, hosted by Mike Turek, Emily Yates, Kelsey Coons, and Gerard Cuomo. All are current EMS providers and educators with a combined 30 years experience. Each month, we discuss EMS news, medical science, and review actual EMS calls, bringing many educational opportunities to the listener. Portions of the calls have been altered to protect the privacy and identity of all involved.
Hello and welcome everyone back to the Medic Materials Podcast. My name is Mike Turek, and we are here with paramedic intern Kelsey, Gerard, and Emily as always. And yes, I got that right first time in like 3 months.
Oh yeah!
So woohoo to me. It is a special day today, as it is an anniversary for the show. It is the 1 year anniversary for the Medic Materials Podcast. So
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
that's actually pretty cool.
That's amazing.
That is really
That we've
cool.
lasted this long, and you and me, Gerard, being the OGs of this show, and then bringing in the girls.
Yeah.
You know, I think the whole dynamic. I was literally just having this conversation with a fan of the show, an actual new listener fan of the show, that I saw out and about while we were working, and he was like, yeah, like literally I'm listening to the new show, like the original shows where it's literally me and Gerard
Right.
and a bunch of random people.
Right, noises.
Right. And now,
Kelly.
they're
Kelly,
listening to Kelly. And now they're listening to, the four of us. And he's like, yeah, like the dynamic is fabulous. Like, don't change a thing. Like, you guys are on par. You're entertaining. You're awesome. And I'm just like, thank you. Like, I don't know what to say.
Cool.
So
You haven't accepted yet that you're kind of a star.
it's really
Yeah,
weird.
you haven't.
But I feel like all of us are. People just seem to see me more. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're on the videos and doing all that stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. But
Like Mike from Medic Materials.
yeah,
Get like the little crowd behind your name.
it's weird.
That's what I tell everybody every time I see you.
It's so weird.
That's Mike from Medic Materials.
No, honestly.
It was so funny how this actually came about. Was I showed up on scene, paramedic on scene, do the call, whatever, and we get out of the truck, and this dude had just driven us to the hospital, and he's like, "You're Mike from Medic Materials, aren't you?" And I was like,
Oh,
yes.
shit.
He's like,
shit.
he's like,
I got one of two ways.
he's like, right. Like, I'm like, do I say yes? Like, no, it's Gerard. It's totally Gerard. And he's like, yeah, I figured it out from your voice, and like halfway up the trip, and I knew it was you. And I'm like, again, are we on a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm surprised it took them that long to recognize you.
Well, masks, and I don't sit there and
Your
like,
voice is distinctive, though,
I don't announce who the heck I am. That's very true.
honestly.
It was dark though. I got to give him credit on it was dark.
On
So,
lighting.
we have a very interesting concept to today's episode.
Anonymous.
That
You're not.
there you go.
Oh, I am.
You're not gonna be
The
eventually.
second you talk in front of somebody, they'll be like,
That's true. That is true.
I'll just have to change my voice then.
What?
I'll figure it out.
You gonna
I
get an
love-
accent?
Yeah, I was going to say, can you try these out now?
Now you got me on the spot.
No pressure.
Right?
Try it out throughout the show today.
There you go.
We'll tell you which one we like.
This could go interesting. This might be interesting. So, as I was leading in, we have a very just do Mrs. Doubtfire the whole time.
I was going for Herbert the pervert, but okay, sure. This is downfire. We'll go with that. You starting to piss me off.
So, as I was saying, we have a very interesting concept today in that we're taking a completely different random direction, and we're going to be having a discussion amongst ourselves more about our backgrounds. And I have a bunch of questions. Some of them are fun. Some of them are, just how do you get into EMS, stuff like that. Oh boy. Just to kind of, we have.
I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah,
I know.
right? That's what I was just saying.
So
I'm ill prepared.
we have, we are starting to get this fan base, and we sit here and we divulge a lot about ourselves, but there's a lot of people that don't know. I know. I can hear things in the background. Hi, honey.
was laughing.
I'm just
at him
waiting
with
for
the
something
brisk.
to like go through the curtain. It's just a whole nother world in here.
I know. All I heard was the of the
All I heard was the
dryer.
of the
Yeah,
brisk
I
opening.
was my drink was hissing.
Oh, your drink was hissing?
Yeah. And it wasn't a cold, stone cold Steve Austin's.
Did anybody count how many cha-chings I had to put into that episode?
All I'm saying is that that's going to be my next drinking game, so I'm not listening to it yet. So no, I haven't listened.
Oh, dude, it was so freaking hilarious. That whole episode was absolutely
I
brilliant.
was laughing pretty good.
Oh, it was great. I was in stitches for the first 20 minutes. It was great. All right. Back to whatever I was talking about.
Something.
Yeah. So where Kelsey and I came up with this idea in thinking that, a lot of people hear our voice, hear different bits and pieces about our life and this, that, the other thing, but don't really know who the heck we are. So this kind of gives them an opportunity to learn about who we are and have some fun with it. So, and I'm sure with some of the questions, we'll have some fun at this table.
Oh boy.
I'm intrigued to see. I actually had to edit out so many questions that I thought would be brilliant. And then I was like, I know what Gerard's response would be. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So I was like, nope.
What I like, long walks on the beach, honesty, and
Sunsets.
public nudity. Yes. Sunsets, yes.
So let's go to Kelsey's rig check and then we'll get into the first question.
Okay, guys, so if you haven't yet, check out the Patreon page and help join our team of VIP providers for some great perks. We just released our first Patreon podcast last week, so if you become a seasoned provider or a salty medic, you're able to give it a listen. We do want to shout out our Patreon listener, Juliana, who has been a longtime listener of our podcast from the beginning, so thank you, especially for supporting us even this much further. You could also support us by rating and reviewing the podcast on whatever streaming platform you listen from. And if you have a cool and interesting call you want to hear us review on the show, fill out the Survey Monkey below. Today we're going to shout out our listeners in Nebraska and Canada.
Ooh, Canada, eh?
Hey,
Tim Hortons, eh?
Tim Hortons I actually like.
I love Tim
I've
Hortons.
never had Tim Hortons.
The funny thing is we actually had more of them in Florida than I've ever seen up here.
They're up by the Canadian border.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's it.
Florida is not near the
you go to
Canadian
Watertown. I understand that, but you go to like Buffalo
Yeah,
and
I was gonna
Canadian
say out
border and
west.
Like,
stuff
I
like
think
that.
I learned my geography wrong.
Yeah.
Florida's near the Canadian border.
No, the only one I've seen up here that like is within any kind of driving distance is the one in Oneonta.
There's one in Oneonta?
Yeah.
I didn't
Is that
even
on
know
the throughway?
Nope. There's 88.
I didn't even
that's what I meant,
realize
sorry.
there was one out
Yeah,
there.
exit 15.
I almost just said out.
Out there.
About.
Oh, it's going to be so terrible today. So let's get into these questions. We got a few, and I really want to start hearing what you guys have to say. So we've kind of
loser.
huh?
I'm sorry.
We've kind of alluded to how each of us broke into the business, but just give us like the brief synopsis of how you actually got into EMS. Like, what's the story that brought you into EMS as a whole? We'll start with Emily, and we'll just go around the table.
Yours is my favorite.
I was forced.
You were forced?
So fun fact, my grandmother was the first female paramedic in the county that I grew up in. So I always remember like listening to the radio when I was at my grandmother's house, and I thought it was so cool. But my dad actually got in a fatal accident. He drove school bus. And he
My dad's not dead, guys. He
No,
is
my dad's
not
not. No,
in an accident.
He was hit by a drunk driver, and the other driver had passed away. But ever since that day, my dad looked at it. I was on the school bus. My dad looked at, I have a twin sister, so us, and was like, "You're joining the rescue squad." We're like, "Okay." And my twin absolutely hated it. The second she was allowed to get out, she did, and I am still there.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
But you wouldn't be here without...
Twins usually have a dumb one and a smart one. So.
That is true. That is
I'm
true.
definitely the dumb one. I'm just putting that up.
Many people would disagree with that listening to this show.
I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to all the twins out there.
Go!
So how about you?
Me?
You.
You know, man.
I know the story.
It's a
I don't.
series
I don't.
of unfortunate events.
That's a book. Keep
I
going.
was, oh, Christ.
That's a biblical figure. Try again.
Yeah, Jesus brought me in.
I
Jesus told
mean,
me.
in some form or fashion, there's a possibility of that.
Yeah, the Almighty had something to do with it. No, I was up here looking to get into a new career and couldn't decide what I wanted to do. And somewhere around that time, a family member decided to go into cardiac arrest on me. And I started doing, what I thought was CPR at the time. And, did what I could. And then EMS showed up and took me off the playing field, told me to go stand in the corner. And I watched them work, and I didn't like the feeling of standing on the sideline. So I was like, yeah, this kind of sucks because I want to be on the playing field. And family never ended up passing away, but 3 days later I signed up for an EMT course, and that's how I ended up in this life of luxury and deceit.
All right. Well, there's nothing blunt about that. Kelsey, you really haven't even started life. You have chosen this career. I'm intrigued at you because you were a junior for a lot of years.
Yeah. So my sophomore year of high school, everybody, the big question becomes, okay, like you're going to be a junior next year. What college are you going to? What do you want to be?
Okay. I just need to barge in and say that was 2 years ago for you.
It was 3.
Yeah.
No, 4, because it'll be 4 years this February. So everybody always told me, like, go pre-med, go pre-law. Like, those were my 2 options everybody was giving me, lawyer or doctor. So I did what any person does. My dad figured out that I could go be a junior at this agency, and I went and joined that, and I did an internship with a congressman, and I hated the internship with a congressman, so I threw politician and lawyer out the window, and I stuck to the medical route. Now here I am.
I would love to see Kelsey the politician.
Right?
That'd be hilarious. I bet she could do another ad like that other dude.
What dude?
The dude that you literally just watched.
The dude.
The dude.
Right, yeah. I'm sorry, thought you meant El Duderino.
No.
That's just
No,
your
no,
pronoun,
just the
Gerard.
dude. Right. Those are my pronouns, yeah. Gotcha.
Oh, shit. So, mine is almost kind of like yours, Em, but it's almost a mix of both of your stories. I went to art school and came back from art school, and I was going to the local community college for business. And I kept driving past my fire department, like the local fire department, every single day on my way to school. And I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool to join there. Like, my dad was a volunteer fireman. My grandpa was a volunteer fireman. Like, I should do that. So I joined, and my very first call was right across the street, and it was a cardiac arrest. And I'm sitting there, and I'm not even CPR certified. I am nothing at this point other than a 20-year-old kid.
You are scene support.
Right. I was literally the guy holding the clipboard. And I had that same feeling, like, the paid EMT and paramedic came in and they started, putting on their show. And I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And it made me angry that I couldn't actually do anything. So then my fire chief, just like a week or 2 later, was like, yeah, we really need EMTs. Go to school. Like, we'll pay for it, whatever, go to school. I was like, cool. And that was the end of it. I didn't really ever sit there and go, I am going to be an EMT. Like, I was planning on being a photographer. Like, that was it. And then this kind of took over. Once I started working, it was literally the takeover, and here we are. So, with being like, all of us have been in EMS for a while, and I know there's a lot of down points in EMS as a whole, but and we'll kind of get into that. But what fascinates you the most about EMS in general? Like, there's got to be a reason as to why we continue to do it, and we'll get to that reason specifically later on. But what really fascinates you about this business?
It's the ability to adapt and overcome at whatever you're thrown into, because you are literally thrown into shit time and time again. And you always come up with a creative way to get out of it.
Hopefully.
In my experience. I haven't gotten stuck in a shitty situation yet.
I mean...
Take that.
I will.
Go ahead. Come on.
Oh, the shitty situation. I literally, like as she said it, like every patient ever that was covered in shit that I've had just in my brain.
I was literally thinking the same thing. Like, you know, the burrito wrap of shit that I gave my wife at the ER that I'll never forget. Like, that is exactly where I was thinking.
Right, I was like, oh, yeah, there was that one, and there was that one, and there was, oh, that was the one that yeah, she shit all over my partner. So it's knowing where to stand during the shitting.
That could not be what fascinates you to this day.
Shit.
Maybe.
Shit fascinates
It
him.
does fascinate me now.
How fast it comes out. Like,
how we can completely change a day. Yeah. Let me think.
okay, well, while you think,
Yeah, let
I'm
me
going to
think.
go to Kelsey.
Yeah, give me a think.
I feel like it's almost like it's a family. I mean, we always have like the crazy uncle and like grandpa that nobody really wants to talk to, and like the one with the cousin that like nobody associates with. But at the end of the day, like no matter what agency you walk into, eventually it all becomes a family because you go through the same stuff all the time. And eventually like it just becomes another person that you can talk to, whether you want to open up or not. It's a family, whether we all like each other or not.
And I mean, really, it lends itself to actually mimicking your own family. Like, there's family members that I can't stand. You know, there's coworkers that I can't stand. You know, it just is what it is.
Show up if they need you.
Right. But, you know, if they call on a scene, I'm going to be like, yeah, what do you need? Just like if my family member called and was like, hey, I need help. Okay, what do you need? You know, I'm not going to be like, nope, sorry, not today, Junior.
I don't like you.
Right. You know, I mean, so many people could. Oh, yeah, it's our lunchtime. Nope. Somebody's pooping. Sorry. Like,
You have lunchtime?
sure.
I do now so that you don't get help.
Right. Exactly. This is my scheduled lunch for the day.
Right.
You know, it is really hard to think about. Like, I wrote all these questions and I didn't even think of answers beforehand, which is probably stupid on my part. But it is really hard to find something that is absolutely the most fascinating thing about this business. But I look at, you know, what captured me the most when I started out. And there is definitely like this mystique about this industry. You know, like it's not being doctors and nurses. You know, you are tread on as ambulance drivers all the time, but yet you can do things that are not ambulance driver worthy, you know, that actually make a difference. And I know it happens all the time.
That's my second coaster
cup
of the
holders
day.
stick onto the bottom of the
That
cups.
is
I
my
know.
second coaster of the day. I'm lost.
I know. It drives me bonkers. You know, and I feel like I almost got fascinated with that mystique. You know, I remember being completely enamored by the way we go about the scenes and walking into people's houses and figuring out the shit. And, you know, like when I broke into the business
And the conditions.
like, you know, like when I broke into the business, I was an MVO. I was a driver. So as I was taking my EMT class, I was working on an ambulance, not allowed to do anything but carry bags, you know, and it was just like such an awe-inspiring experience to be like, this is what we do. Like, and I'm not even a part of it yet, but I think that just stayed with me. You know, it's still really cool to look at when I do a generic call, a bad call, a whatever call. It's like, hey, look at what I can do. Like, you ever get, and this is such a weird thing, but I've been driving now for lots of years. And have you ever been like driving down the road and you're like, wow, I can drive. Does that ever happen? Like that happens to me sometimes, where I'm like, "Wow, I can't believe I can drive."
No,
Sounds like
That's
a
just
high
cool.
revelation
No, like-
right now.
I know.
I've had that, wow, how did I get here?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't remember getting here.
So I don't know. I kind of do the same thing. Like, I'll walk into work and be like, "Wow, this is cool."
I really
know?
do this.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people have that.
Yeah, I know. I understand that feeling.
It's weird. I don't know. I'm a weird person.
I don't think it's ever happened to me driving.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm a weird person.
I feel like it has happened to me, like working though.
Mhm.
When you're like driving your car and you're like, wow, I'm here.
I'm it.
I'm doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a weird,
Yeah.
like, feeling, Come up with anything. I mean, you can go in the Wayback Machine.
The critical thinking, the outside the box shit. I kind of know what the hell's going on here, and I'm going to come up with an answer to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there may not be an answer, that's just 2 + 2 = 4, and I have to go with some quadratic equation to get where I want to get.
You got to do Common Core math.
If I have 8 apples, they take 5 apples. How many pairs do we have?
Right.
7.
You want me to get the electrical cord? No, I'm sorry. It was just the critical thinking, the outside the box, not knowing what you're walking into, and then, having to, work the puzzle and come up with answers and problem solve and all that good stuff. I think that that's what appealed to me. That's what made me want to go to paramedic school and stop just being an EMT. I mean, not like just being an EMT, but, I wanted to go to the next level where I actually, had to do more of that.
Right. You get deeper into that critical thinking aspect. Yeah, man.
And I didn't want to do sling and swath anymore. So.
Ever.
Yeah. I don't even. It was funny. The first time I had to teach that, I had to relearn myself how to do it because it had been so long. And I was like, shit, how do EMTs do this?
Right. It's like, he can operate, $50 million worth of equipment, but he can't tie a fucking knot.
Yeah, right. It's so true though. So, looking at the opposite side, right? We've looked into the fascinations and stuff, but there's always things that we look at that are downers in our business, right? Things that we always wish that we could change. So, what do you guys strive to change the most? And I've said this over and over, and I'm going to repeat myself. My whole philosophy on changing EMS is changing culture, right? We change the culture, we change this business forever, and that's where all of this started, was my ambition to change the culture. So like, where do you guys, what would you strive to change within EMS?
Oh, well, I'll go first.
Since you're the pessimistic, I want to see what you're going to have to say.
All right.
I looked at her first.
I'm
and then
not
she
going
looked
first
at
every
you.
time.
She took my glare and moved it to you.
I see that. So
Well,
you
'cause-
always pass it to the left. Too.
Yeah.
So, no, I've never done that. Please. Going along with the culture thing, I would say if I could change something, it would be the overwhelming umbilical to the fire service. The way we do things, it's like everything we do was born from the fire service, and what we do has nothing to do with the fire service. The 24-hour shift thing, the freaking just a lot of the culture, I guess. I wish we could find our own culture, our own union type thing, that type of thing. Actually be a service, recognized as a service in and of itself, not just something born from something else that just happens to be there and,
Right.
Is a reason to get funding. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, you're not at all. That's why
He's
I'm
not
not
wrong.
No, I mean, and that was kind of the almost the eye opener for me coming into this, because I wasn't born into it. This was never in my wheelhouse. I never thought of doing something like this in my entire life, and few years in, it's when it really kind of just starts like, wow, things could be done so much better and so differently. The pay scales, things like that. It just, I think if there's one thing I could change would be, find our own identity, and seriously move away from the whole, the 24-hour shifts and, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not conducive to a healthy life.
No.
It really isn't. I mean,
no, I'm in full agreement.
Have circadian rhythms for a reason. I mean, I know I'm just kind of harping on the 24-hour thing, but I mean, it really is when you look at the statistics of accidents and things like that. Even med administration errors, whatever. It all goes back to fatigue. It's something that doesn't seem to be recognized in this industry, but in every other industry it is.
Right.
I mean, you can't tell a truck driver, hey, I know you've been driving 16 hours, but I need you to drive another 8.
Right.
But you sure as shit can here, So.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be something I would change.
Ladies.
Sure.
I feel like this is gonna come out wrong, but like the BS. So like, I see it on both ends where like there's some people that really probably don't need to go to the hospital, but like Emily, you say all the time, it's their emergency, not mine. And like, I just had a patient the other day who like the only thing she could tell me was she didn't feel good, and I was trying to get anything I could out of her. And let me tell you, I felt like a douche turning my patient over, being like, she just doesn't feel good. Like, I got nothing else to give you, but she just, like, everything else that I can find checks out. She just doesn't feel good. And I've heard it countless times that, like, oh, I'll give my compassion to, like, those who really need it. Or, like, it's my job to care for you, not to entertain you. But, like, sometimes all they need is for you to hold their hand and let them not feel good and talk to you. Like, I do feel bad I apologize to that nurse because I'm really sorry. I had nothing for you. But at the end of the day, like, it's your job to show up no matter what they need. And like, I get it. It sucks. You'd rather like the super cool car accident. But like, this poor old lady who doesn't feel good is going to feel a whole lot better than that person in the car accident. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, and it kind of goes back to, I mean, even the changing of the culture of what we do. You go to other countries and they have, community paramedicine is not something that is just an idea.
Right.
It's what they do.
Yeah.
You show up at someone's house. Hey, I don't feel good. Okay, well, here, I'm going to pull a doc up on, the laptop here. And you talk to the doc, and the doc's going to tell you, what to do from there. Okay, well, follow up with your primary care. Here, take an aspirin. All right, bye.
But you were still there for them for what they needed.
Right,
well, right.
But the point is we're not, I mean, here, the way we are now, it's
transport or nothing else.
Right, transport or nothing else. You're going to a hospital, and then you wonder why we have 2-hour wait times at hospitals. It's because they're full of bullshit calls, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times, I bring someone in, they're like, yep, go to triage, and you go to triage, and it's a room full of people with, honestly, not a whole hell of a lot wrong that deserve to be in a hospital. But for whatever reason, the way we have this country set up, the healthcare here is, for a lot of these people, that is their primary care.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hospital. And, I think something needs to change because, I mean, just from what I can see in the past few years, it's not sustainable. So I
no, and,
lines,
over the course of 14 years in this business, I've watched it progressively getting worse.
Yeah.
And, here in New York, they're trying to make steps in the right direction, where like both agencies that I work for now have teledoc, where you can actually call on I don't feel good, right? Do you really want to go, or can we just talk to a doc on a tablet? Cool. But in hopes that maybe one day we'll be able to transport to the urgent cares or, like the orthopedic centers and stuff like that
to the sprained ankle.
And alleviate that tension on the ER. Yeah. I think that would be more beneficial than even teledoc.
Yeah, like in our area, in our area, we actually have a cardiac urgent care.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people even know about it.
There's a pediatric specific urgent care. There's an orthopedic specific, and could, is it more beneficial to transport to those for the stub toe, the not septic kid, but the one with the sniffly, nose that mommy's worried about? Okay, whatever. I think our business needs to go in that direction. And, like, give us a shout on, the Facebook channel or like anywhere that you follow us and let us know if your state does this, because I'm unsure if, Nebraska does it or Texas does it or whatever. Yeah. Like I would be interested to see what other systems are like. So definitely give us a shout out on that one. Yeah. I haven't heard your answer, Emily, for...
I think I would just want to change the attitude. We have all heard it like, oh, you're just an ambulance driver, or even on shift, your partner's like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't know this. It's, I just take vitals because it's my job. Like, we're more than that.
Act like it.
Exactly. Like, take this seriously. We are a huge part of this person's healthcare team. And I wish that more people recognize it, I guess, and took it seriously and, went further with their education. And
even just, attitude in how you present yourself and how much you take yourself seriously, but also how much you take the patient seriously as well. Like you could go to that bullshit call, you could go to that 5th overdose for the day, and if you don't treat them like a human, I, as a provider, don't respect you anymore.
100%.
Because that's still a patient. Like, I treat all of my patients, regardless of that it's their 15th overdose that day. I don't care. They're still a human being. I still have a job to do. Treat them with the utmost respect.
So that happened to me on a call. It was came in as a site call. Police needed transportation to a hospital. I get on scene and there's like...
They have a car?
They do. There's like 8 cops.
Medical clearance.
Yeah. That's something I would change.
There is something I would change. Cops,
like,
transport your own damn patients.
Right. Or
there's
prisoners.
like 8 cops in this girl's room. She's like 19. This poor girl's got like 8 cops in her room. One of the cops comes out. He tells me and my partner, and then the medic comes on scene. You want to know what the medic does? First thing he walks in there, he goes, okay, I'm either going to sedate you or you're going to go in handcuffs. Your choice.
Yeah. Because that's helpful.
And I was like, wow, like this poor girl who, whatever the story was, okay, you pissed off the cops for the past hour. I'm sure, but like there's 8 of them in your bedroom. I would be pretty pissed off too. So I literally went in. I'm like, hey, can I come in? She's like, yeah, I guess. So I sit on her floor for like all of 10 minutes. We talk. She gets up and walks out to the ambulance because all you had to do was talk to her like she was a human being instead of like a burden to your day. But hey, buddy, that's your job to show up and talk to her.
Yeah. It is amazing how much one conversation and you actually caring, whether you actually care or not, but showing
Fake it till you make it.
Right, showing that you care goes a long way. It's amazing how that happens. So,
I know there's assholes, and there's just always gonna be assholes. But
I mean, everyone's got one, right. So there will
Right.
always be
There will
assholes.
Always be an asshole somewhere. I'm so not going there. But don't discount the fatigue factor. Because I can tell you right now, and I'm being honest, and if anyone says otherwise, I'm going to throw the bullshit flag. At 3 o'clock in the morning, when you've been on shift since 7 the previous morning, and you get a call and it's complete and utter bullshit, you're going to go in and you've been running all day. You're not going to go in there happy and cheerful and being like, oh, gee, I'm here to help you. How, No, you're going to be like, you motherfucker.
I mean, he's not wrong. You're not lying. You're not lying.
So, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it because I know when I passed 19, 20 hours, I know myself. Yeah. When I hit like the 20-hour mark, I'm like,
you don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yep.
And if you're preventing me from doing that, you just became my worst enemy. That's why I don't do 24s anymore.
Yeah.
But then you self-limited. Limited? Is that a word?
Limited. I'm going to go on ding on that one. All right.
You recognize that though and limited yourself down to but you did that personally. A lot of people won't do that
because they want the money or they only want to work one shift
or hey,
2 days, 3
my
days.
My boss
a week.
asked me to pick up and now I'm on a 36.
Or they're working a 24 there and a 24 at another place just to keep the lights on at home because they really don't freaking pay us what they should. So it's I get it, but I learned to live within my means, and if I can do it, anybody else can do it.
I mean, just curse your entire way to the call, but the second you get out of the ambulance,
deep breath.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to walk in the house and go, "Hey, motherfucker," You know, no,
Yeah, but some people will.
Yeah,
That's why
and
I'm putting
that's
this out
the
there.
thing.
That's what I'm
So many
saying. Is
people that
like,
will, and that is, I think, the key that Emily's trying to point
there are,
out.
like I said, there are some assholes out there that they just no fucks and they'll just
Right.
do that. I never have, but I can definitely say that I have been less patient with people.
Mm-hmm.
Past that point. So
Yeah. And I think we all have. I mean, I get that way at times, where you're just like, really? And you eye roll, like you turn around, you eye roll yourself and you're like, okay,
right.
goose fraba and turn back around, So
What?
Goose fraba.
Oh, Jesus Christmas.
Goose fraba. We're not going to start singing I Feel Pretty.
Not again.
No, not again. That's right. We did that. Didn't we?
We did.
Shit. All right. Let's not remind people.
Oh, they know.
they haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
You probably re-listen.
Yes. There you go. So moving into a more fun question is, do you guys have any superstitions at work? Because I know I have one, and it's kind of stupid. I mean, superstitions are mostly stupid, but Kelsey will sit there and she'll be like, okay, she'll be taking all of my like IV stuff out. She hands all the IV stuff to me, and then she like grabs the the 1,000 bag of saline and the thing, and she's like, I'm gonna spike your bag, and I'm like, no, because if that bag gets spiked before I get my IV, I miss. That is a mind over matter thing.
Yep.
But no, I don't like cardiac arrest.
Thing.
I don't care. Like, you will wait for that bag until I get my IV because I will miss.
When you put the IV in and the patient's like, did you get it? Like, shh.
Right.
You can't ask that yet. I cannot answer that yet. You need to wait 2 more minutes and I will answer it fine.
Yeah. Like, that is my one and only superstition that I have while working is just don't spike my IV bag before I get my line. Is there any ones that you guys have?
So mine is you can't wear your boots in the bedroom.
Okay.
Mine kind of goes along with that. Like, I don't take my boots off at work.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's an overnight, even
Yours
if I have
is
to
the
sleep.
opposite.
Yeah.
I will hang my feet off the bed
Yeah.
with my boots on because every time I've ever taken my boots off,
You get a call.
they're gone. They're off for like 3 minutes. And motherfucker, here we go.
I've noticed that is a legit thing. Like every night,
You gotta slowly build up to it. Like, take your boots off.
No.
Wait.
No.
Sit in bed. Wait.
Yeah, no.
Take your socks off. Take your pants off. Wait.
Yeah, it can't
just
all come at
take the
once.
pants. I mean, I see you all come in and you got your comfy comforters and like you're moving in and you bring your whole bedroom set with you.
Maybe that's why we're more rested for our late night calls, Gerard.
I throw a rucksack over my head. I hang my feet off the bed. And
You're not
Maybe
in the
you
military.
should try it and get some sleep.
But I will say though that it is weird. Like, to me, it's weird that people take their pants off while they're working. Like,
It's not.
That to me is weird.
But we
Why?
also
I will
wear
take my boots
shorts
off.
under our pants.
I will take my boots off. I absolutely will take my socks off. But that's as far as it goes.
See,
Then
the socks is weird to me.
Then
No,
I-
so
my
socks
stay
have
all
to
the
come off.
time.
I can't
No.
sleep with socks on.
no.
That's a no-go.
Yeah.
No, sleeping with socks on is a no-go.
No, I'm sorry. My
Dude, the
great
beds
grandma.
are funky. Are you crazy?
I know, right?
My great grandma always said, when you're sleeping, your feet have to breathe, so you can't have socks on, and that's
No.
stuck in my brain.
Sleeping with socks on is a no-go for me.
Yeah.
But the whole taking the boots off and getting comfortable and all. No.
But, like,
no.
I can
'Cause
see
the
how it'd
moment
be
you try
weird
to
for,
get
like-
comfortable, bad things happen.
That's why you do it in stages.
See, I can go along with that though, because every Saturday night when I am getting ready to, like, I sit on the edge of the bed and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take my boots off. And then I look at the little monitor thing and I'm like, that thing's going to go off. And then I take my boots off and I'm like,
And it goes off.
and it didn't go off. And then I lay my head on the pillow.
So you
and then the
literally-
damn thing goes off and I'm like, fuck.
Right. And that's what happens. I mean,
You gotta do it in slow stages. Like, wait a minute, watch a TikTok or two in
It's
between.
already 3-4 o'clock
Well,
in the morning
maybe
by the
start
time
your
I am
process
going.
at 2:30.
but then going along with my big superstition is, don't tempt the fucking gods. They fucking listen.
No
They
offering
know what's
bodies.
going on. No freaking talking about, hey, you know who hasn't called lately?
Right.
You know, that kind of shit.
Yep.
You said
I
that
do
to
that
me,
all
you
the
just
time.
went straight to my shit list.
I pulled that with my one partner. I don't know if you were on the call, but I was sitting there like, yeah, you know, this one county where I'm working.
Oh, I haven't done a cardiac arrest in a
They've
while.
done, there's like
I
9
was
people
there.
that died in like the last 2 weeks, and like, when was the last time we had one here? Ding.
That's
and
it.
I'm like, oops, sorry guys.
I can tell you when tonight.
I say that all the time. Like, oh wow, I haven't done a really bad call in a very long time. Oh wow, I haven't done an arrest in a while. Like, damn, when was the last time we RSI'd on my shift?
Yeah,
I'll kill somebody.
It doesn't happen for me. Well, because I don't do anything.
that's true.
That's why.
It's because the gods love you.
Yep.
They don't love me. they loathe me.
Yeah, but okay, wait. Going to superstitions, I also think that it's because when you get a cardiac arrest, how many people are like, oh, fuck. Like, oh, I can't believe I have to do this. Oh, like, how dare that person die at an inconvenient time for you when you're getting paid to do this?
That's true.
Honestly,
People
I don't
make
think I've ever done that.
Not that I'm not saying that
Yeah,
for you
no,
because
I'm
you
just-
and I
I'm just
don't do
doing-
that, but people
Yeah.
who like
I know what you're talking about.
who are super
Right.
superstitious make a big deal about everything. You're gonna get bad calls. You're gonna get cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they're paying you.
Yep.
Or that's why you're there. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, it's like weird. Like when I get a cardiac arrest, I kind of like feel like I'm going to play.
right, exactly. Like,
Right.
okay, I can
Yeah.
think we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Like, I'm excited to do skills. I'm excited to do
Yeah, we
this.
get-
And that's
we get
like,
the game
I-
plan going when we get there.
Right.
Show up.
But when
and
you say that, it
I'm like,
reminds
hey,
me.
you know, what's
Yeah.
going on? You know.
Like I try and figure out how to weasel in to make sure that I get the skills instead of the
Yep.
person who's actually
Right.
running it. Like I get
I
signed
place
off,
myself
you-
at airway.
right.
Like,
Like
how many times do you look at me like, tube's mine? You know what I mean? It's a fun competition
Yeah.
where a lot of people they're superstitious because they're like, oh, another cardiac arrest.
right.
Yeah.
It's like they're good.
Yeah, I know.
The ghosts follow them
Yeah.
or something, you know, and they're just lining up the ghosts behind them.
I was in one of
Yeah.
our local ERs the other day dropping a patient off, and radio comes in for a arrest that's coming. And 3 nurses. Now, keep in mind, like, we're in new grad season. There's a ton of baby nurses.
Isn't it scary? Sidebar. How
Baby docs and baby nurses.
and baby nurses come out at the same
They're a
time.
month apart.
It's
They should
Yeah.
rotate that.
it's petrifying.
And then
But
baby paramedics. I would like to make that known.
that's true.
Well, paramedics come out later in the year, so they don't come out with the baby nurse and docs. It's like
Yep.
3 months later.
It's close enough.
We stay on the teat a little.
Well, I mean,
longer.
you could say 6 months is close enough.
Yes.
There's only so many months in a year.
Okay. Well,
But as soon as that radio goes off and they hear what it is, 3 nurses that all have a baby nurse with them is like, oh, whoa.
Wow.
Are you
Yeah.
working in an ER right now? Because I'm
Right.
confused.
yeah.
And you're showing
And it's
the
not even
next
like-
generation of
It's like-
nurses
it's
that
in a
this is what
nursing
it's
home,
okay.
you know?
Right.
Come on.
And it's not
Right.
even like they're going to do the CPR. The freaking techs are going to do that for them.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what do they have to do? Okay, they write down epi 1010.
I mean, techs are non-existent right now, so just pray that the patient's on a Lucas.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
Oh, I when I used to work in this other town,
He's
I'm
twitching.
trying
Over
not
there?
to over that away.
Over this way?
Over the mountain and through the
That's
woods.
adjacent to where.
I can't wait until this thing goes video so we can watch Gerard's ticks. Yeah, that way.
That way. They're like, he's got Tourette's. You should probably look.
I mean, there's a thin line between, you know, crazy and a neurological disorder.
I'm trying not to use names of towns and things like that. So you know, it's the one over there. And,
For all of you Southern folk that listen,
you'll
that's
understand
over
that.
yonder.
So yeah, no, and I had we did a cardiac arrest, had a Lucas on him, brought him into the to where you work, and yeah, they left it on. They were like, "Fuck it, let's leave that shit on there." And
Why
nobody
not?
comes around.
I
Yeah.
say that for every.
Yeah.
I am in this huge fight with my not a fight, but like I'm trying to advocate to get one in the ER because that should be the standard of care.
It should
Yeah.
be.
But neither here nor there.
So, Kelsey, I want to hear your superstition. Then we'll
So-
move on here.
I don't have any superstitions.
Yet.
Really?
Yet.
Yet. Yeah.
My math teacher, before we used to take every test, used to say, good luck, not that I believe in it, which I just kind of love the saying. So I don't really like believe in like luck or like a superstition, but there is this crazy coincidence that happens to me. And my first patient is a junior and my first patient is an EMT. both had the same name. So I'm really looking to see if my first patient is a paramedic also has the same like first name, because that would be kind of crazy.
That would be kind of weird.
That would be.
Now, did they have the same complaints or just in the name?
Just this, but the same first name.
Cool.
But I still feel like it's a I'm not superstitious about it, but it's a coincidence. But I do always carry, and Gerard, I feel like you should remember this, and if not, I'm going to be really sad. The first patient that you ever gave me, do you remember when I broke the oxygen tank going down the stairs?
Yes.
So you carry a tree?
No, I carried the piece of the oxygen tank that I broke off with me every time I go on
That's right.
shift.
I remember that.
That was my first patient ever by myself.
That's weird. What piece is it? Just like a little plastic piece, or
It's
like
like a metal piece of the regulator that's
It's the
snapped
tree.
off.
damn?
No.
It's
The nipple.
the nipple.
It's the tree.
On the regulator. The
So
tree.
in the hospital, I always have one in my
Yeah.
pocket because I constantly break those things off.
That's so crazy.
You know, I was
Yeah.
walking down the stairs and I put the first in bag as a backpack and I didn't zip it all the way. And it slowly came out and it went bloop, 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 bloop all the way down the stairs. And
Nice.
all I could think of was that thing's going to explode.
That's fabulous.
And so, yeah, I keep that with me because it was my first patient ever.
And I remember looking at it and just like, come on, blow.
So I'll keep with you, Kelsey. We'll move on here. You actually wrote this question.
Oh, great.
That's why I'm gonna.
I don't even know if I remember this.
So you wanted to know what the table's most useless talents are. So we're gonna start with
Wait,
you.
now we got to think of one.
Now we're gonna start with you.
A useless talent.
Like
useless-
the
so-
most useless talent.
Yeah. So like. I don't even know what to say here. The only thing that I could think of was I can roll my tongue, but that's genetics. So it's not really a talent because I didn't learn it. That is a genetic trait that some people can and some people can't do. You know, as of yeah, sort of.
I can't roll my
Like
tongue.
some people can do it in like a butterfly, like a clover. Yeah, see, you
I
can
can't
roll it,
even
and then
whistle,
there's another
so-
one where you can actually roll it into like a clover looking thing. I
I
can't do that one. But
Wait, like, do it again?
Yeah, I can't do that.
like yeah,
Everybody
like-
can't do that?
It's like a taco.
No, not everyone
No,
can.
I can't do.
If I could do the clover thing, I'd be in a different line of work.
Yeah,
that
see?
right
I also could not
Gerard's
whistle.
OnlyFans is opening next month, everybody. Wait for the link.
I also could not whistle or blow up a balloon, so I think I'm just effective. I'm gonna
So-
think of a useless talent that I have.
Right. Do you guys have any useless talents? Like, as of right now, my photography talent is completely useless because I haven't used it in
That's
so
not
long.
true. I
That
have
is a
some
useful
fantastic
talent.
pictures thanks to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a useful talent.
Like, is anybody
I
really
guess-
good at like picking a melon? Like my dad,
Just
phenomenal at picking cantaloupe.
It's just my never-ending useless information that's stuffed in my head. It's completely useless. Like I can freaking just pop shit out and movie lines.
That
and
is true.
It's completely useless, but
But
it's
it's
a
so
talent.
entertaining.
No, I'm going to back you on that
It's
one.
Yeah.
so entertaining.
Yeah, it's just it's not a talent I have to work hard at either.
And
It
I
just-
must say
it just
that-
comes naturally.
In all the people that have written this show and have talked to me on scenes or talked to me about, this show, the one constant that they always say is not that anyone on this side of the table is great.
No, it's him.
It's you.
him.
Always.
It's literally
Yes,
you.
it is.
They're
Always
like-
you.
I have
they
the same
are like,
thing.
I wish that we could just can up all of Gerard's
Yes.
stupid little jokes, stupid little things that he says because they're all
one-liners.
fucking hysterical.
Yes.
Yeah, you are literally like,
A walking sideshow.
yeah, it's
That's what
and
that's my
apparently
useless
that's
talent.
my life.
Apparently,
Yep,
there's
that's
your
my
useless talent.
Yep.
You are the entertainment of this show.
Good for something, I guess. Yeah.
Emily,
Wow, that just kinda
I don't think I
ended,
have
like,
one.
Weird.
I'm trying to think of one, and I.
Like we were all happy and just and also it's like Emily, you got it?
I know, right?
It's like damn.
I can bring out the depression in
Emily!
anyone. That's my useless talent.
You want jazz hands with that?
Infective depression.
Yeah. I don't know.
I prefer infective positivity personally, but
Is that your
That's me.
useless talent? To be way too positive?
I feel like it's not.
Yeah, I don't know what mine would be.
Useless talent.
It's tough.
I'm sure I have one, but
It's tough.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
Oh, we should call her other half.
he would have one.
We can call him, put him on speakerphone.
Oh,
Like,
the little picture, file photo.
looks like a mugshot. Might be a mugshot.
Yeah, with the sunglasses.
I'm gonna ask him what he thinks.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
She's like looking at the camera.
Don't forget the donut.
Right.
Do you remember that one that our last podcast you and I did together where you called in my phone and I said I had the graphic because it was video.
Yes, I remember
Gerard by phone and it was him with like his EMS hat to the side with
Oh,
like a
yes,
stogie
with the
out of his
cigarette hanging out
mouth.
of his mouth. Yeah.
And his sunglasses and he looked like a total fool.
The porn shades. Yeah. It was somebody I was working with at the time.
Oh, it was great.
He had these awesome porn shades from like the 80s. So I put them on. I kicked my hat to the side, had a stogie hanging out the mouth. Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
So okay, well, you're asking Corey, so we'll come back to that. So outside of EMS, right? You couldn't work EMS or medicine in general anymore. What are you doing?
I would own a bakery.
Backup career 47.
Interesting. I worked in a bakery.
Oh, dream job still to this day.
Now I'd probably do IT.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do computer shit.
I feel like I have so many backup careers. I'm 18. I don't even know what I want to be when I'm older.
You're being a paramedic.
What's your next career?
My next career? I have no idea.
That was the picture.
I mean, most people have like five. I told you, it's brilliant. So send me that because when this
Now you can
podcast
put it
goes
on.
live, I'm
Alright,
gonna
I'll send it
put
to
it
you.
in the comments so people can
So everybody
see.
can see.
Yeah, just because everyone needs to see that picture.
I feel like I make jokes all the time, like backup career number, whatever, like campaign manager. One, like a good friend of mine's running for re-election, and I was helping him out because I'd done the congressman's campaign, or like baker because I really love to bake, or florist because every year for dance recitals I would get like millions of flowers and you always had to arrange them. So I feel like I always joke like backup career number 324, but I don't think I actually know. Like if tomorrow somebody is like, yeah, you can't do this anymore, I'd be like, Dad, we're moving to Iowa.
You could be a cow farmer.
I could be a
There you
cow
go.
farmer. My dad would be totally
Wouldn't
on board
you
with
be
that.
so excited to be
I
a
was
cow
just gonna
farmer?
say,
I totally would.
I was just gonna say. I mean,
You know
for
how
her,
much work
she-
there is involved in being a farmer, though? Like, that is
Yes,
even more
that's a
stressful
no-brainer.
than this
You be a
job.
cow farmer.
That is
Yeah.
just more, but that is even more stressful
Yeah, I
than
don't know
this
how she
job.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
We all did.
Yeah, we all knew that.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So, like I started off with a previous career of art. I don't know if even I would go back to that because it's been so long for me to actually do photography and art.
You know, honestly, I never would have pegged you for an art school guy when I met you.
No?
No.
Oh, see?
Like, I pegged you as the guy that makes fun of art school guys.
And I did while I was there.
I didn't peg that either when I learned that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it was such a joy to do that. And like if I had made the right decisions and wanted to do that, I'd be in New York City making a shit ton of money at a marketing firm, taking pictures all day. Like that's what I would be doing. But I didn't. I was very stubborn. Imagine that.
What?
And yeah, I know. And I was
Shocker.
like, I'm not moving to the city. I'm going to make it up here. Like, and it just bad decision after bad decision. And
And now we're here, guys.
and now we're here, but so like I might actually sit there and be like, I would do that again if it was solely marketing and advertising photography. Like that's what I always loved to do, was take pictures of products. Loved it. And if I couldn't do that, I think I honestly would like set up not like an urban garden, but I would get a giant plot of land and I would rent out garden space for other people.
Do you want to grow corn for my cows?
So like, yeah, like Kelsey comes to
There
me
you
and
go.
goes, hey, you grow this and I'll pay you. You know, you come over to me and go, hey, I want all of these types of plants for my kitchen, but I don't want to grow it. Pay me and I'll grow it for you. Like, I think that would be a really cool career.
Again, you can grow corn and pay for my cows.
I could. So, moving on, because I'm sure Corey hasn't gotten back to it, because who knows if he's even awake yet.
No, he's sleeping. I can guarantee it.
What
You
in
gotta
your
do the file photo thing though. It has to be done.
I'll send you a good one.
Yes.
what in your guys' opinion is the best phrase or phrases that you know in your life that you really like, you take stock in, you know, really like?
In EMS or in general?
No, in general, just in life. So I have two, right?
Mantra.
Yeah, kind of your mantra. You know,
I know yours. I know yours.
It's almost like it's tattooed on me.
Yeah,
no,
weird.
not that one.
So like I said, I have two. I stole the first one from Boy Meets World, and it's life's tough, get a helmet. Because
I know
it's
that one.
so amazing.
Wow.
So amazing. Right?
No, I'm just wow. She knew that.
You want to know why I know that one? Because they did a remake, Girl Meets World.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
why
watched
I
it.
know that one.
Just for the cameos.
I love
Here's-
Boy Meets
Here's
World.
the shocker. I don't even know what the fuck show you're talking about.
What?
Nope.
If Emily and I get it, like,
Hold on. Okay. Wonder Years. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay. Did it have a impact on your life?
Not really.
No. What is one? Okay. What is one like sitcom show that you grew up watching that you actually related to? Like you sat there and you were like, I picture myself as this character going through their trials, tribulations, successes, whatever. Because everyone has one of those shows growing up.
Crap. Yeah, that's a tough one.
I don't really know what you're
I-
talking
I-
about. It might have
like-
just been you.
Like I
My
identified
brain
with
is
so
not
many
that
different
imaginative.
TV
No.
shows, it wasn't even funny. I mean, like, if you want to talk, like 10 years old, and it was probably like Buck Rogers or something.
No. I'm saying you're 12 to 20. Your teen years, your impressionable years.
Impressionable years.
Your Kelsey
I
age.
remember a TV show
Oh my
during
god.
that time.
It's just
Honestly,
you.
It's just me
It was
then.
no, it was probably like, I know it sounds weird, but like Al Bundy. Legit. Like,
You just like Christina Applegate. It's okay.
Oh yeah, well,
It's okay.
There was that, but
I mean, Topanga.
I know, but like when I thought I was having a bad time, and I'd watch an episode of Married with Children, all of a sudden it was like, shit, I got nothing to fucking
My
complain
life
about.
ain't bad. Right.
That ain't too bad,
Right.
Because Al's having a bad day.
I'll always say that. But I mean, that was kind of like, that was Boy Meets World to me. Like it came out. I watched it every week, and it was, when it first came out, it was a little older than me. Like the main character was 12. When it came out, I was maybe 6, 7 years old. And, but even still, I could relate to the stuff that this kid was going through. Like it had happened in my life or whatever. And then it followed me through, to my first girlfriend, my first breakup and all this other stuff. So like that show has a cult following of people that are literally just like me. So, that would
He's
be
a part of a cult.
What's your second?
So my second is,
That get me thinking about TV shows, and I was like, maybe Seinfeld too. I probably.
yeah, see, I never watched
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
I probably-
Seinfeld to me
that
was not
probably
funny.
But it wasn't necessarily the Jerry's humor. It was the supporting cast and all
Yeah.
the funny shit that went on around there.
Yeah.
And it was like that always kind of just like, I don't know if I can say I related to it, but I don't know. like the way I looked at people changed, I think, after that show started, and I started, like just the way, I don't know, like I got into like people watching and, thinking about, hey, dude's a fucking idiot, or shit like that, I don't know. I think that, that probably had another little influence.
So getting to you, Emma, my second one is, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Because that one, like, really, like, you have to put in the work if you're going to obtain whatever the heck you want. It's not just going to be given to you on a silver platter. Like, platter.
Ding.
Powder? Okay. Well, if you're Tony Montana.
So that one has always, resonated with me as well.
Mine are not that good.
Okay, so
share.
I don't know. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
There's one.
I mean,
That's
you
what
do
I
say that
say a
all the
lot.
time.
And Suck It Up Buttercup.
Yep.
No, that's her other one.
Those are my two. I
I'm
like it. There we
just
go.
EMT.
Just a part timer.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, me?
We're going around the table.
We're going around the table.
If it don't fit, you must have quit.
Shit.
No, let me think. Yeah, I guess the two that I always keep in my head is the first one is if it's made by man, it's made to fail.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
You say that a lot.
You do.
Yeah. I used to say in thrust we trust, but no, I can't do that anymore. Well, I could if I had that other career.
Right. Your OnlyFans is starting in a month.
Right.
Be the slogan.
I know it sounds corny and stupid, but the only easy day was yesterday. I think about that
I
one all
like
the
that.
time.
I like that one. I've never heard that one.
I haven't either. I like that one a lot.
I like that one.
I believe it's that comes from Navy SEAL school. They beat that into them.
Yep. Which makes perfect sense.
sense.
Yep.
So I have one that I can tell everybody because it's literally tattooed right on my wrist. But when I was younger. Okay,
Dang.
like
You're so old.
Right?
I used to.
When I was in
Sorry, when I was in like middle school, so like a whole 6 years ago, I was like obsessed with quotes. Like I have a little note in my phone to this day of like funny things that people would say, like
Same.
super supportive things that people would say, like my favorite TV show quotes, like a running notes app, and I still fill it to this day of like really great things that I love that people say. The one that's always stuck with me is remember the good. It is the one tattooed on my wrist. That one's just, I guess, I don't know. Sometimes life sucks. A lot of times life sucks, but I don't think there's a better spin on it than to try and remember the positive. It doesn't mean forget the bad, but remembering the good usually helps you get through. And one specifically for this business that pretty much got me through like my junior years, because my entire first year as a junior at the agency I work at, all I did was transports. I don't ever know why I came back. And my dad always told me that every day that everybody makes it home is a good day. So I think both quotes help, especially in this field, because you get that really bad call and maybe somebody doesn't make it home. But you have to remember the good on that one. But maybe you just help grandma up. And yeah, like you didn't do anything life-saving today, but she made it home that day and nobody got seriously injured that day. And that is a good day, whether you did anything magical or not.
That's true. All right, so we will rapid fire some of these because they're fairly short. I'm intrigued. I love food. I love to cook. I will always say that I will pay top dollar for great food. So dish that you cook that you're most proud of. Mine is my chili lime barbecue bacon wrapped shrimp.
Yep.
Those fucking things.
Oh, I wish I liked seafood because that sounds.
Wish I wasn't allergic to seafood.
So
Seafood.
Ding.
This way. Even though you're allergic, we got Benadryl and shit. You should try one.
Yeah,
They're that
we'll
good.
give you a pre-EpiPen.
It's worth the anaphylaxis.
You know, it's funny. There was a guy that I went to school with that used to do that. Like, he was allergic to shrimp, and he would be like, "I can't give up shrimp," so he would carry his EpiPen. Like, literally, like
mine didn't have the EpiPen. He would dose himself with Benadryl before he would order his shrimp.
No, this dude literally would give himself an EpiPen and then eat his shrimp.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, that
there was
is
this
fucking
girl-
unbelievable.
If I was allergic
Yeah.
to peanuts, that's what I would do. I don't know how
Like,
people survive
There
like
was
that.
this girl I went to high school with, and our freshman year, she really wanted to try a Reese's peanut butter cup. And she was like, everybody talks about how great they are, but she is like super allergic, like across the table is a peanut, and she breaks out in hives. So she literally inhaled a Reese's peanut butter cup,
Worth it.
stabbed herself in the leg, and called 911
Worth it.
just to try a Reese's
would
peanut
do
butter
it.
cup. And that is,
I mean,
that is hardcore.
Yeah, this kid he went to one of the colleges that was in our coverage area, and he just had to have his shrimp, whatever the hell, from wherever. He knew his dosage. He would take, at the right amount of time. He would take the right amount of Benadryl, and then he would go and have dinner. And I guess the one day he either
miscalculated
or whatever, and we ended up there. It happened like twice over the course of his 4 years going.
Or
to
his
school.
reaction's probably getting worse.
Yeah, probably.
Right. But
I mean, that's dedication.
he tells all stories. No, I take this much Benadryl at this time, and then I take another dose at this time, and then I go and have my shrimp. And I'm like, damn.
I mean, I don't feel bad because people have medication allergies and like I'm allergic to Solumedrol, but they still give it to me for one specific reason, and they're like, we're just gonna dose you with Benadryl. So if they can do that, then I'm getting my fucking peanut butter.
Fucking A. I like it.
How about you, Em?
What was the question?
Dish that you cook that you really are proud of.
Oh, meatballs.
I do love a meatball.
Can we have some?
Kelsey?
So I don't really cook. I'm a baker.
I know you bake.
I bake.
Oh, okay. Baking is
Jumped
all.
right over me.
No, I'm
Bacon's a whole
I'm
different
waiting.
thing. Cooking.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really cook.
baking
You
is
bake.
part of cooking.
So what is the most?
Well, that changes
So,
my answer.
I think the best thing that I make, I
Not those
bake-
goddamn brownies.
not those goddamn
Because
brownies,
that gave me diabetes.
is I make their vanilla cupcakes with chocolate chip cookies baked in them.
Yes, I remember those.
And then, like, depending on where
The
I'm
amount
going,
of happiness you just gave him on his
yeah,
face.
cream cheese
Like, I
frosting
remember
with some
those.
chocolate chips on top. I think that's probably the best
That
thing I
was a
bake.
good day.
Now, how about you?
My spaghetti sauce.
Okay, so we're having spaghetti and meatballs, apparently.
Apparently.
My
'Cause I can make the
grandmother's
noodles.
It's my grandmother's recipe that she taught me. And when I cook it, you'll notice there are no measuring cups anywhere. It's all word of mouth and taste.
Yep.
So
I love cooking like that. Love it. So this one I'm going to stay with you, Gerard, because I think it'll be interesting. If you had the opportunity for an adult beverage with one historical figure, who is it?
Ooh.
with one historical figure.
Like the adult beverage.
Oh shit.
Well, that's going to be a green dragon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I thought that was a question. I was like, that was a dumb question to
Yeah,
put in
no,
there.
it's
Nope,
probably
nope,
gonna be
nope,
Green Dragon. Christ, wow, so many people I would love to just sit and have a chat with. Wow, that's a good one.
Who was the first one that came to your mind?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. I literally had like 18 different people just flash through my head, you know. I don't know. You know what? Honestly, somebody you all probably never would even know who the hell he was. A guy named Mel Fisher.
You're right. I don't know who that is.
Who?
People from Florida probably will remember him. He started looking for the Spanish treasure ship called the Atocha, like in the 60s. It was from the 1715 fleet that sank in a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And he found a few other wrecks along the way too, but every day he would wake up in the morning and say, "Today's the day." And he did that for like 20-something odd years.
Mm-hmm.
And it cost him a son, died during a diving accident. He just kept going every fucking day. And then finally one day, and I was in I think I was in middle school at the time. I remember walking past a newspaper machine, and the front of the Sun Sentinel newspaper had a picture of him wrapped in a chain of gold, and it said, "Today's the day."
Mm-hmm.
He found it.
Oh, that
cool.
is really
That's
exciting.
cool,
That's
I'd
cool.
love to sit and talk to him.
That should be your new mantra. Today's the day.
It was the day, yeah.
I agree. Em?
What's yours?
So I'm going more.
You two are the ones I'm actually excited
So
to get this.
I was actually surprised that Gerard and I didn't go on the same route to this. He puts a lot more thought into it than I did, I guess. But we had this discussion on our previous podcast years ago, and I would actually pick Sam Adams.
Yeah.
And so I've always said, not getting political or anything like that, but I've always said that if you had to pick the most important, prominent founding father of this country, it was Sam Adams. And everyone would disagree with that. But if Sam Adams, the rabble-rouser, didn't do what he did, we would not have a country, because he secured the funding from Hamilton. He did all of the building of the initial, grassroots movement of all of this. He was the rabble-rouser that started all of the taverns and stuff like that. So without him, we wouldn't exist. We'd be speaking, the Queen's English. So I have always said, if I could have a time machine, I would go and have a Green Dragon with Sam Adams in the Green Dragon Tavern, because fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So now I want to hear you two.
You
you
go.
go first.
People, not Disney cartoon characters.
So
you can't
funny
say
you
that.
Historical
so-
figures. You could go
so-
Walt Disney.
So funny you mentioned that. Mine would be Walt Disney, but for a reason you probably expect and a reason you probably don't. Walt Disney, where the magic happens, I think it would just be really cool to sit down and talk to him. He does bring all this joy to children. I think that's really cool. But also, because when I was 13 and went to Magic Kingdom for the first time, there was no magical fireworks and magic like I really thought would happen, and that is a serious bone to pick I have with that guy.
Did you stay until midnight?
Yes.
Yeah, usually
So they
11 or 11
no,
o'clock
but
or midnight.
they changed the rules. But I
She's
wanted
very
to walk
upset right
in, and there was supposed to be princesses and like a whole magical thing, and there was just not. It was all
If it makes you feel
major
good,
disappointment.
if it makes you feel
Watch
good,
out, Walt.
The one time I went to Disney World as a kid, I didn't even see the freaking mouse.
I didn't either.
That sounds like something that would happen to you.
It would be, right?
I didn't see Mickey either. But that's what I'm saying is like I think it would be really great to talk to him because of like the Disney Empire that's came out of his name and like everything that he did, like how humble it started and where it's become, but also because at the end of it, I'd have a serious bone to pick about this rules and regs about what kids should get when they first walk into the parks.
Yeah.
M.
Babe Ruth.
Cool.
Ooh.
Always my
Interesting.
answer.
Over Ted Williams?
Yes.
Interesting.
I have
Okay.
idolized Babe Ruth since I was a kid, and I just think it would be super fun to have
That
a
would be
conversation
super
with
That
him.
would be kind of cool.
That would be really
All
cool.
I think of is the Sandlot.
All I can think of is a dude would drink a beer, eat like 20 hot dogs, and go out and hit home runs.
Right?
You know? But
and
the one thing-
man, you should have seen him pitch before they made him a fucking outfielder.
No, I know.
Like,
So the one cool thing that I always, funny we're talking about like mantras and stuff. The one thing I always think about at certain times is Babe Ruth holding the record for both home runs and strikeouts.
mm-hmm.
And why? Because you can't hit a fucking home run if you don't swing.
Swing.
Yeah.
That was almost going to be my mantra. But I say way other
Still,
things
that's
way
cool.
more.
So I'm gonna shorten this just in sake of time, but give me either a movie, a book, a podcast, something that is your number one that you would recommend to our audience right now.
Ooh.
They have to go read it, watch it, listen to it, and why.
Oh, podcast? That would be Medic Materials.
That was gonna be mine. Damn it.
I stole thunder, yes.
No, it could be a movie, it could be a book, it could be a podcast, whatever you guys.
Podcast?
A podcast. We love you, Emily.
Where's Kelly?
She's been here the whole time. She's very quiet.
She's very quiet. I took away her microphone.
There was a article published probably 10 years ago now, and it was 100 things that you should teach a new EMT. And honestly, this is not going to be helpful because I don't remember who wrote it, but I remember that was the single-handedly best thing I have ever read relating to EMS.
Interesting.
So search it, see if you can find it. Let me know.
Cool.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be EMS related.
Oh.
It could just be anything.
Moana, right?
No.
I will say, great soundtrack.
I watch that every day.
That's why Moana. That's her answer for everything.
So there's this book that I'm thinking of. And I can't remember the name of it now that you asked me.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
No.
Every single person in America should read that.
Yes, but no. Hold on.
12 Angry Men.
Well, yes.
Good one.
Do you have any?
I'm not
While
gonna
she's
say
looking
I'm
it
not
up.
gonna say it.
Just say it.
No, I'm bad.
Just say
I'm
it.
bad.
I'll edit it. Maybe.
Human Centipede. What do I have? Oh boy. If I had to recommend one movie.
One movie.
Just one.
Just one.
Only one.
Only one.
Oh my God, I can
For
literally.
anybody to go and see. Is there any particular reason they should see this movie?
No, it's your reason. It's your reason. It could be the
my
best sci-fi movie. Oh God, Kelsey's ahhing
Keep
over
thinking.
here.
All right, I'll keep thinking.
I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Book.
It sounds like a book.
Okay, so like 90% of our EMS people listening just said, yeah, okay.
Sure.
So I don't.
What movie is he thinking about?
I don't believe in like meant to be's or like certain paths, but it's a book, and the whole thing is like everybody's on a crash course path to where they need to be eventually. It's a really like lighthearted book. I really like it.
I still want to hear Gerard's
Movie.
Oh, Christ.
movie.
Movies, huh?
I figured you'd have this like, boom.
Well, no, because
there
now
it is, done.
Because now it's like, to recommend one movie to somebody.
You
I have
too.
all the movies in my head.
So pick
And we all
two.
know
I know.
how long that line is.
I know. We could be here until tomorrow.
You want to know what? I'm going to shock the shit out of you.
Okay.
Casablanca.
Really?
Yep. If I had,
You do not
The
approve.
disgusting face
if
that
I
you
had-
have.
if I had-
What?
Yes, if I had to tell someone to watch one movie, Casablanca.
I'm going to go watch that now. If that's your
Why?
pick, I'm going to go watch it.
There are so many really, really cool nuances in that movie. You actually have actors that, this was a time when they actually had to act. They couldn't rely on
Right.
effects or anything else. The premise of it, the story, the way it was told, the acting, and like I said, there's so many cool little subtleties in that movie that, like, every time I watch it, I actually like find something else I didn't notice before. So Casablanca is a great movie.
I can't get behind Casablanca.
It's a great movie, dude.
I'm not saying it's not a good movie. I just
That's right. It's not
That
a good
is
movie.
not
It's
the
a
one.
great
Ugh.
movie.
It's
It's
just-
a great movie.
What's
It's
yours?
see. I have the same difficulty.
Ishtar.
Ishtar? What?
Wow, you don't know the worst movie ever made?
Nope.
Okay.
Can't say I do.
All right.
Sorry.
Good. I'm glad. So
I mean, it's nothing like the movie that you're forcing me to watch,
Solo.
Solo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you still owe me.
I know. I'm just pushing it down the
Yeah.
road
No,
until
no.
you literally tie me to a chair and make me watch it.
Okay. Well,
Now we know that.
oh, look at the time. I got some rope, everybody. Here we go.
Why?
Because now it's become a thing.
On his OnlyFans in a month.
Any you guys that have fetish out there for tied up people watching bad Star Wars movies? There you go.
There you go.
I'm your guy.
See, you just admitted it was a bad Star Wars movie.
It's not one of the best ones, but it wasn't horrible.
Ugh. So, if I had to pick just one, I honestly feel like the only one that I come back to that I think visually was amazing, told the story amazing. Again, the nuances in how they tell the story and where they tell the story.
Finding Nemo.
Super Troopers.
No, Gettysburg.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Honestly,
Oh my
it
God.
is the only
How
movie.
obvious.
Exactly,
Right?
it's obvious to people who know me.
Right.
I've worn out more DVDs of that movie watching it
Yeah.
than I can count.
You've worn out more DVDs of that movie than people have that spot in.
Yup.
No, I just was looking at something over there.
Something's just.
No, the Fast Times at Ridgemont High when Phoebe Cates takes the top off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably.
You've worn the DVD out more than that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's 100% accurate. But no, especially if you
For a
get
second,
to.
I thought that nail was part of your headset. I'm like, why is there?
Oh,
a
that'd be
nail?
cool. It'd be like your Locutus.
You'd be like,
thing.
or you'd be like the guy in Happy Gilmore with the nail stuck in his forehead.
That's true. But no, that would be mine. This one was actually posed by Jess, because I said, what is the most ridiculous? Literally, I posed her. I said, what is the most ridiculous thing that you can ask any one of us that is both festive and completely and utterly pointless? And my wife somehow pulls out of her butt celebrity crush.
Ooh.
I don't know why my wife would
I
think
have
that.
answered this question
I
so
don't
many
have
times.
one.
But that's the one that I'm going to
Chris
end with.
Hemsworth. No.
Zac Efron.
Thor?
No.
Oh, whoever plays 4 in Divergent.
4.
I don't know what the actor's name is. We know who I'm talking about.
You gotta look these up.
Yeah, Hemsworth is Thor.
No, 4, the number.
No, she said 4.
Oh, 4 as in like F-O.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
No.
Tobias Eaton.
No, but who plays Tobias Eaton?
Tobias Eaton?
Theo James.
Celebrity crush. That's a kind of a tough one because there's a few out there. It's like,
He's like,
But if I was gay, Jennifer Aniston.
that was my high school celebrity crush.
Jennifer Aniston just doesn't age.
Jennifer Aniston and Pink when I was in high school and
that's
college. And I was like, oh my God. Now, neither one of those are on the list.
okay.
Who is it for you?
So, Jen Ledger.
I don't know who that
She
is.
is the, look her up. She is the
We're doing
drummer for the band Skillet. Absolutely amazing. Gorgeous voice, gorgeous human being.
Okay.
And I always forget her name, but the girl who plays Nebula in the Marvel movies. The girl that played the girl in Jumanji, the new rock version of Jumanji.
Oh,
Yeah.
Karen Gillan?
Yeah.
Who?
Karen Gillan. Yeah, I know.
Celebrity
looking at
crush
that
is a Karen.
Don't care. I can look past that.
Oh, I'm still thinking.
Can't be that hard.
Well, she's got to answer first.
Zac Efron.
She did. Zac
she did.
Efron.
Zac Efron.
Really?
That's what I said.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV.
It's sad.
You picked Zac Efron.
I got nothing.
But Zac Efron.
That's the only one I could think of. I just watched Charlie St. Cloud.
Okay.
I saw 10 minutes and then went on a call.
Nice.
Crap. Who the hell am I?
3, 2, 1, go.
Queen Latifah.
Jessica Alba.
No. Crap.
Give me the character.
Marina Baccarin.
Who is this?
Marina Baccarin. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Feeling the flow. Working it. Circular.
All right. Well,
But
these.
if I did swing for the other team, it would be Denzel.
Oh, all right. That's a
That-
good one.
right?
I mean-
okay.
Dude, there's
Fair.
like,
How do you not?
dude, the Grand Dragon of the KKK wants to live next door to Denzel Washington. Okay? Everybody wants to live next door to Denzel Washington. I love Denzel Washington.
You're very passionate.
No.
He's more passionate about Denzel Washington than he was this Maria chick.
Or anything else today.
I was totally completely wowed that there were 2 movies of his that I hadn't seen.
Which ones?
I forget the names.
It's almost like a Stallone movie to me.
And I just started watching Saint Elsewhere, the old episodes from like the 80s.
Yep.
He was on Saint Elsewhere.
He was.
Yeah.
He's watching it for Denzel.
That's it.
He's
dude.
totally
As soon
watching
as
it
I
for
heard Denzel was
Denzel.
on there, I'm like, I'm watching that shit.
Yeah.
Because I never did watch that shit when I was a kid, so I'm gonna watch that shit now.
All right. Anything that you guys want to add? No? Good? Awesome. So we're going to end it and...
Do you want me to come up with a follow-up question?
Oh shit.
Yeah, we
it's
got to
been a
get
while.
moving.
All
We
right.
got to,
Yeah, my bad.
do stuff. So we will end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about the inner workings of our brains here. We're going to see you on the,
Or lack
on the
thereof.
15th with a intriguing call review. So we'll see you then. Stay safe.
Donuts.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you'd like more information on the podcast or to send us a call to review, visit medicmaterials.com/podcast. To learn more information, like us on Facebook at Medic Materials EDU, or watch our weekly instructional videos on the Medic Materials YouTube channel.